Hello and welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. My name is Joy and I am so excited to be here on the eve of Venus going direct. It is Saturday, September 2nd, and I am going to break down the exact major aspects that are happening before this retrograde ends and Venus goes direct. She will do so tomorrow evening on Sunday, September 3rd, 7:20 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I've missed you, friends. I've been gone for a few days. That super blue full moon really hit me hard. It was actually 2 degrees away from my natal moon in Pisces. So I felt the deep desire to go into the psychic waters and really cleanse myself of technology and just really dive deep into what I need as far as feeling that Saturn energy, that wise, mature energy. And I actually did some soul searching and have decided to not show up 5 days a week, 6 days a week here on this channel. It's not sustainable. Saturn has blessed me with the knowing that I need to be a little bit more savvy with my time. And friends, this girl has a lot of jobs. I teach yoga. I also work at CSU, Colorado State University, and manage the front desk of the police department. And I'm also a Reiki master and a mother of 3 and an astrologer. So I do a lot of things, and unfortunately 6 days a week videos here, I have to be realistic, although I'm very sad because I sure love being here. But what I'm very excited about is the rebirth of my channel being more about major things that I see that are interesting. I love studying the layers of astrology, and today I'm going to give you a layer that I've been looking at for a while, and it is Venus and Mars, and this beautiful love story that has been happening in the cosmos in the house of Aquarius that started back in March 6th of 2022, when Mars and Venus came together in a conjunction, meaning at the exact same degree. I like to call it a union, a blending of 2 into 1. And this happened at the 0 degree mark of Aquarius. And the lovely next conjunction, union of the lovers coming together in the cosmos, happens on February 22nd of 2024. So this Venus retrograde, the cycle that Venus is ending tomorrow, is really tied into this beautiful story of Aquarius, because, friends, on February 22nd, where Venus and Mars come back to meet, is in Aquarius at almost 7 degrees. It's 6 degrees and 59 minutes. So quite the love story happening between the lovers, Mars and Venus, and I am excited to break that down for you today. I am going to start with the exact major aspects that lead us up into Venus's movement direct, to really just set the scene. I love the details. As a Virgo rising, all of the layers are really important to me. So let's start the day with where we are on Saturday, September 2nd. Here we go, friends. At 3:19 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the moon at 12 degrees of Aries, the initiator energy of the cosmos, trines Venus retrograde, who is at 12 degrees, where she will be and has been for a few days, but where she will turn direct on tomorrow, Sunday. So here at 12 degrees, our moon checks in with her through a trine. A trine is a harmonious aspect, asking us to really see how we've expanded through this emotional connection of these two characters. So at the end of Venus's retrograde cycle, how have we emotionally grown up, gotten stronger, more wise, and more in love with ourselves? This is a beautiful energy to say, are you ready, friends? It's time to initiate this new process of who we are, the way we show up with Venus themes in our lives. So the way we love, the way that we make money, spend money, the things that we spend our money on, the things we find beautiful, the way we express our own beauty through our clothes and, whatever. So are you ready to rumble, friends? That's what this moon trining Venus at 3:19 a.m. on Saturday is asking us, hold on friends, let me get a drink of my booch here. Okay, we got the countdown going. Friends, here we go, initiate time. Aries, with our moon there, is saying it's time to go. 3, 2, 1. And you got this. The next thing that comes in is on Saturday at 2:53 p.m., the moon at 19 degrees of Aries comes into conjunction with Chiron at 19 degrees of Aries. Chiron went retrograde the day after Venus did on July 23rd. So these two are definitely part of this potent story of healing. Chiron, the wounded healer, has been asking us to look at parts of ourselves that have had deep trauma and really work it out. This is heart trauma. All this Leo energy has been asking us what stands in the way of our truest joy. So here we go. The moon conjuncting Chiron is this tender emotional check-in. It's giving us a pep in our step to start the little engine. And this is where, as a mama of 3, I think of the story, The Little Engine That Could. This is where I feel like, all right, friends, she's going direct. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We got to get the mantra. I think I can. I think I can. I hope you know the story I'm talking about. If not, you got to go check it out, because it is a simple kid story, but really instills into us that no matter how big we are, no matter, how much we need to pull, if we have the right mindset, we can make it happen. We can get up past that hill, around that hard corner. But this is definitely a beautiful conjunction. Really checking in, where are we in our healing process? I just saw a white butterfly fly by right as I was thinking of that. Where are you as far as coming out of that darkness and opening your wings and flying? Because that's what this beautiful self-love revolution of Venus traveling through Leo, the heart chakra of the cosmos, asking us to really deeply look at what we need and desire. That's what Black Moon Lilith traveling with Venus has been asking. And now, well, I don't want to get too far into it, I'll divulge this later, but now we are looking at commitments. So hold on, we'll get to that. But okay, friends, so we're in our little train and we're starting to climb that hill. So a new you, we're feeling healed. We're feeling a little bit stronger, a little more awesome, a little more wise. And then we move into the next day, Sunday, the day that Venus does go direct. So at 1:43, between 1:43 rather, and 4:15 a.m., the moon is conjunct the North Node, which is slightly shifting, and that's why it's a range of time that the moon makes that connection. But this is like full steam ahead in our little train. This is the point of destiny. Our North Node is the future. It's where we're headed. It is our unfolding of the next step. And so when the moon is making a conjunction here before this big cycle ends, we are definitely given this momentum, this full steam ahead energy towards our purpose, towards our destiny. So the train is moving, friends. And at 3:16 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the moon at 26 degrees in Aries trines Black Moon Lilith at 26 degrees of Leo. Black Moon Lilith has been holding down the end degrees of Leo, waiting for Venus rather to go back to her point of 12 degrees, grab onto Juno's hand, and come back all the way up to meet Black Moon Lilith. Finish this out strong together as a triad of 3 strong ladies, and then move on. So, oh my gosh, friends, this is quite a powerful train we're riding right now. As we move into our moon trining Black Moon Lilith, we're really checking in with this new us, this stronger, wiser, integrated version of us. We feel charismatic at this time, feel a bit shiny, but we can also, on the other spectrum of that, be seeing some fears, but because it's a trine, these fears seem like they are not so horrible, like they're actually maybe gifts that we can still work with to unfold and up level with. So trines are definitely wonderful aspects. They help us see the growth behind them. So even though Black Moon Lilith can be a tricky energy, this is still a beautiful, positive aspect. But hopefully, friends, this is making you feel like you can feel the wind in your hair as you're on that train, that you can smell the flowers as you're passing by the beautiful mountains. Black Moon Lilith was a nature goddess. So hopefully that's where you're at in this journey, friends. Enjoying the scenery rather than smelling the smoke. All right, at 5:56 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, the moon at 28 degrees of Aries comes into a square with Pluto. This is working into that anaretic degree, the testy energy of Pluto. But guess what, friends? Today, Pluto squaring the nodes finally ends its engagement range, which has been in engagement for months. We have been working intensely since Venus went into retrograde with integrating a skipped step of fate, something in our past that was really hard to deal with. We've been looking at it again somewhere, maybe from a deep past life, maybe this life, childhood, but we've been working hard to rework this pattern, see that darkness, that shadow as light, and fill the cracks with that light and feel this wholeness, this new version of ourselves. So here we go with kind of a challenge. You know, we have squares, those are tensions, but they can also be up levels as we move into passionate energy through that square, which is by the nature of Mars, who can bring in challenge, strife, or passion and desire. So this can be a closing in on a big turn, right? We're on that train and we're feeling a big turn ahead of us and it looks really scary. We don't quite know where it's going. But this is where we can look and actually see that it's not as scary as we thought it was in the past, right? There's this ability to know that we're in a whole new place and that, oh, that vantage point of where we're at now, I can see that I can do this. So it's a little check-in to give yourself that motivation at 5:56 a.m. on Sunday. So waking up, maybe, I don't know if you have a toddler like me, this is when I'm getting up. But here we go at 8:59 a.m. where maybe the majority of people wake up on Sundays. The moon will be moving into Taurus, so just out of Aries and that masculine fiery initiator, let's go with this new cycle, and into Taurus, where it's like we're gonna ground it into reality now. Here's that feminine, make it happen, creative earth energy, which is beautiful, right? As we work with this new cycle of Venus to come from that initiator energy of Aries and into the let's make it happen energy of Taurus. So this sensual energy of Taurus is giving us this feeling of joy and of being alive. Like our train, we passed that really hard corner, we got through a challenge, we've integrated it finally. Hello, no more Pluto squaring the nodes. And now we can feel the joyous feelings. Taurus is a lovely sensual sign that lights up all the five senses. So our moon being here really enjoys to be cuddled and loved and nurtured. So yes, friends, a beautiful way to start this Venus direct. We end the evening with that particular aspect. At 7:20 p.m., Venus moves direct at 12 degrees and 12 minutes of Leo. So here we go. This is where, just kidding, rewind. Let's bring our train back a little bit. I did miss one aspect, which was a beautiful ending to our train ride, because this is where we get to integrate all that we've learned. Oh, there's a tiny superhero is here. Integration. Hi, cutie.
Hi.
That's so cute. Did you get a Halloween costume?
Yeah.
Are you Gecko?
I was going in the...
Okay. Well, I'm talking to the people about the stars, so I need you to go back with your daddy. Yay!
I was got Gecko.
Okay. I love it. You look super cute. Bye. All right, sorry for that interruption. But let's go back up the train again. And here's where we end the day on Sunday. It is the moon at 3 degrees of Taurus, sextiling rather. So it's a subtle aspect. Sextiles are very beautiful though. They are harmonious and by the nature of Venus, so they bring in beauty. This happens at 2:32 p.m. on Saturday, and this is a sextile between Saturn, who's going retrograde in Pisces at 3 degrees. This is definitely some psychic waters that Saturn is traversing right now, and really working with this up-level energy when it comes to our own spiritual essence, our soul work. And this, friends, is beautiful. The train ride ends at this aspect where we are feeling this maturity, feeling this new inspiration when it comes to the way that we love and the way that we make money, and the way that we just express that beauty in the world. So healed pain, right? My favorite quote is wisdom. And so from this point, with Saturn making the sextile to our moon in sensual Taurus, we're really able to feel that wise owl self illuminated, and allow this train to move into a whole new realm, a whole new place that we've never visited. You know, that's that Piscean waters. So now, friends, we move into the final aspect of Sunday, which is Venus going direct at 12 degrees. So exciting. We have been going retrograde since July 22nd, but Venus did enter into the house of Leo on June 5th. She will leave this house on October 9th. But right now, friends, now that she's beginning to go direct, she begins her post-shadow phase, which is her moving through the degrees that she went retrograde through. So from 12 degrees up to 28 degrees. That is her path that she's already gone up once, gone back down twice, and now is going to go up a third time. So all the aspects that she made to the slower moving planets while she went 1 and 2 times up these degrees, she's going to make a third time. So those are squares to the house of Taurus, where our moon just entered. Interesting. Where she will square Uranus and Jupiter, who will both be going retrograde at this point. They were not going retrograde on the first 2 rounds. So some deep inner work is still being done with these Venusian topics, because Venus rules the house in which both Jupiter and Uranus are in. She rules Taurus. So how lovely that the moon is in her home when she goes direct. She is really getting supported by this day, friends. You know, gotta love it. Okay, and what does the house of Leo look like as she's going direct? Well, it's a rather interesting house, friends, because we have Juno at 9 degrees. And Venus is at 12. So they are in a 3-degree orb as she now begins to go direct. She is going to lead Juno up. And what Juno represents is commitment, loyalty. It is the asteroid Juno. She was married to Zeus, and he was an adulterous man. But she took it on herself to be the most wonderful partner in the ways of learning Tantra, healing him through their union, and just really being selfless and loving. So she represents this commitment and loyalty energy. And Venus kind of left her midway through the cycle and has been, I think, working through fears and shames with Black Moon Lilith, because they were together the whole time. And now that she's done that, Venus is able to really go back and commit. And so, friends, this is where we get into the love story. We also, hold on, back up. There are 2 more exciting things happening in the house of Leo besides Juno and Venus holding hands again. We also have the sun semi-sextile Venus. The sun is at 11 degrees of Virgo, 1 house away from Leo, where our happy little Venus is hanging out at that 12th degree. So we're getting this subtle adjustment energy going on this day as well, from like our life course, our path, the sun, is being shifted slightly in a way that we didn't quite realize needed to be shifted. So that's happening. And we also have Black Moon Lilith at 26 degrees of Leo, trining the North Node at 25 degrees of Aries. So this is interesting. They're only 1 degree apart, but this really shows us, friends, that we are up leveling through releasing old stories when it comes to trauma, shame, guilt, fear, all those things that do not allow our full selves to shine, right? They're sluggish, they pull down our energy systems get blocked with that energy. So now this beautiful aspect on this day as Venus goes direct really speaks to that expansion, right? The trine between the Black Moon Lilith energies and our destiny and our path. Ooh, so much healing has gone down as Venus has moved through this house of Leo. We've been working intensely on the yin energy within us and within the collective and within Mother Earth. And that yin energy, friends, has been asking us to really stand into our own power, speak our truth. All these beautiful things that the Barbie movie, and I can't even think about the countless things that have been coming up lately that I'm like, oh yes, here's this pendulum shift of the toxic masculine patriarchy into a more feminine realm, which, friends, as it shifts, us ladies, we need to keep it in love. We need to bring it into balance. The masculine and the feminine within us craves this deep divine union. And with that being said, now I'd like to talk to you about this union that is taking place in the sky and share some Sabian symbols as well with you. So the last time the union of Venus and Mars, the lovers, the masculine and the feminine, came together was on March 6th, 2023 at 0 degrees of Aquarius. I did state that earlier, but now I want to share with you the Sabian symbol, because this is what initiates this whole cycle, friends. Mars and Venus here at this degree on March 6th says an old adobe mission in California. If you don't know what a mission is, it is a beautiful old church, really gorgeous, adobe built, made to last building. And so when you think of that, this really brings into my mind just the whole notion of survival and worship coming together in one sacred space. Survival in the fact that California is a desert, and those elements back in the 40s when they built these missions were quite challenging. So this building acted as a place where people could get out of the elements and survive, but also a place of worship and community and coming together. So this really brings in the notion of safety and love. And then building something that lasts, right? These things, they last. These buildings, I love to visit them. Santa Fe, Georgia O'Keeffe, one of my favorite artists, love to paint these, but they last, friends, and they leave a lasting impression in your heart as well. The power of these buildings are quite potent. So this is an energy that we're looking at building something that lasts and that will outlive us. It leaves a mark on the earth, a beautiful mark, something to be reverent of. So that's where we begin the cycle of Mars and Venus coming together in union in the same degree. And then Venus has been basically chasing Mars ever since, friends. Pluto, interestingly enough, has been going back and forth at the very end degrees of Capricorn and just dipped his toe into this 0 degree mark of Aquarius, where that union took place in 2022. March 23rd to June 11th is when we got that tiny taste of Pluto touching this union spot. So definitely, a magic wand of transformation going down. And now Venus, she's in chase mode following Mars ever since that union happened at that degree of desiring safety and love. Okay, so here we go on June 5th when Venus entered into Leo. This is where things got a little bit more spicy. She entered Leo to be 9 degrees away from Mars. Mars was also in Leo at this time. So they are in the same home at this point. And by June 23rd, she got into a 4-degree range to close in on that close engagement range from 0 to 3, where you really feel the union energy. And that happened 2 times, on June 30th and then again on July 5th. The first time on June 30th, Venus was at 20 degrees of Leo and Mars was at 23 degrees. The second time on July 5th, Venus was at 23 degrees and Mars was at 26 degrees. So I said, hello, 23 degrees. Something special about this cycle is going down at this degree. So we need to look at the Sabian symbol, friends. And here it is. An untidy, unkept man, or Dane Rudhyar's, his explanation of that, which I love a little bit more, is a totally concentrated man, totally concentrated upon inner spiritual attainment. A man is sitting in a complete state of neglect of bodily appearance and cleanliness. So this speaks to me, friends, as a man uncaring of what society thinks of himself, of him rather, that he is not, suitable as far as society's standards of bathing himself, because he has reached a different level. He is in the realms of enlightenment. And so this anti-conformist attitude could be seen as a state of bliss, right? Because he's free of that container of society's demands upon him. So he's free in defining himself, which challenges society into a higher level of evolution, right? Some people see a homeless man and they tune into compassion and they want to help, where other people tune into judgment, which is their own shadow, right? So this is a very interesting degree that the two lovers meet upon in that 3-degree range. So definitely think on that Sabian symbol, friends. The next potent date is on July 10th, when the last day that Venus and Mars residing in the same house of the heart of Leo ends. So they won't join again in the same house until December 30th, when they reunite in Sagittarius. But Mars moves into Virgo on July 10th to initiate this plan of wellness in Virgo, health and daily routines. So yeah, really deep work that Mars initiated with Pallas Athena, really deep patterns around ancestral trauma to work into that wholeness level of Virgo. So that was really interesting, but I digress a little bit. We're going to come back into July 22nd, because this is when Venus goes retrograde, friends. At 28 degrees, she was 9 degrees away from Mars, which is in Venus land, 10 degrees is engagement. So they're just far enough away, but close enough to where they're feeling each other, but not quite touching and feeling that. So it's like a tease this whole month, friends. But on July 22nd, Chiron also joins her in going retrograde that next day. And the degree that Venus goes retrograde at, 28, rounding up to 29 of Leo, is a mermaid emerges from the ocean waves, ready for rebirth in human form. So being that this is where she retrogrades and goes back down to 12 degrees, and we're going to come back up to this particular degree of 28. At this point in the game, friends, on the 22nd when she was there, it was almost like we were dipping our head out of the water as that mermaid, but not quite ready to completely emerge. I do believe that when Venus comes to this degree on the 7th of October, we will start to walk ourselves out of that water and fully emerge as these new, beautiful beings. But okay, we move on to September 3rd, where we are today, and Venus is now going direct after a deep dive into a revolution around love. Venus squared Jupiter and Uranus to really have us shake things up, break old stories away, and step into new evolved versions of ourselves when it comes to Venus things. So, oh my gosh, friends, here we go. We're going direct. This day we have Mars is, let's see, oh yes, the 3-degree conjunction between Juno that's going down. Yep, all right, I've already talked about that stuff, but we are going to talk about the degree, the Sabian symbol. So here, 12 degrees, rounding up to 13, is an old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage. All right, friends, this is it. This is where we look at the whole retrograde cycle from July 22nd to today and take a deep breath and reflect. Reflect. We have a plethora of experience to look at, and the sea captain really speaks to that, right? You only get to be a captain after you've gone through a lot of experience. And he's alive. He made it. He's on the porch of his old cottage, feeling comfortable. So I hope that you can feel that. I know we've all gone through a lot. There's been a lot of breakups in this retrograde cycle. So if that's you, take a deep breath today, friends, because now the ship moves forward. Or should I say train? I think I should say train. All right, so during this direct motion, she'll come back into that third square with Jupiter and Uranus. That shall be interesting to revisit this energy with the full steam ahead vibes going on. We will also have Venus sextiling Mars most of the end of September and mid to late October. So Mars starts to slow down. What happens is that on December 30th, Mars has slowed down enough to where Venus could catch up, and they meet each other in Sagittarius, in the fiery sign of Sagittarius, friends. On January 24th, Sagittarius, they get a little fiery flare of them, and then Mars teases her, moves out of Sagittarius on January 4th. So just a few days do they get to feel themselves in the same house. Now on June 30th, January 24th rather, Venus joins Mars in Capricorn, but they don't engage either. He leaves on the 12th of February for Aquarius. He's such a tease. But here we go, friends. Here's where the fireworks finally happen. February 17th, Venus joins Mars in Aquarius in a 3-degree range. Mars is at 3 degrees, magical 3. Venus comes in at that 0-degree mark, and they have their connection, and they stay in this 3-degree orb all the way until March 1st. Between February 17th and March 1st, they actually come into union at the same degree, and this is 6 degrees and 59 minutes, rounding up to 7 degrees of Aquarius. So that love story that began back in Aquarius on March 6th when the lovers made union together is now happening again on February 22nd, just at the 7th degree now, rounded up a bit. So here we go, friends. The Sabian symbol for this potent degree ending the cycle is a child is seen being born out of an egg. And it's not just any child, it's a human child. So that's rather interesting. I would say that a great evolution has gone underway with these squares to Uranus and Jupiter. But this child representing a dramatic change, an entirely new mutation, right? And breaking out of the egg, representing freedom from old ways, from old standards, breaking out of tradition, cracking out and being fearless. So, friends, February 22nd, that's a day to mark in your calendars. It is definitely going to be an interesting one to explore, and I will just leave you with one more lovely Venus-Mars teaser the next time they come together. OMG, friends. Their union will be joined with the sun. They will be in Cazimi, and the sun and the moon will be trining one another. It will be quite an amazing fireworks show on that day, and that will be my niece's birthday, January 8th, but in 2026. So enjoy this February 22nd date, knowing that the lovers do not come together very often in the cosmos. All right, friends, I wish you oh so much love and joy, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah.